Bună ziua, bine ați venit la Craiova. Astăzi mergem la Parcul Romanescu. Și avem doamna Magda cu noi astăzi.
Bună ziua tuturor!
Ce super! So today we're going to the Romanescu Park, which is the third biggest park in Europe and rather beautiful. And we're just going past a rather lovely church,
Biserica Constantin și Elena,
which you can see in the sunlight. Și mergem, we're going by bus. It's not far. There are 4 ways. There used to be 4 ways of paying on the bus in Craiova. One was a coupon. You buy a coupon for a week or for a month and you clip it every time you get on the bus. Or you buy a single ticket. Now you can pay by card, and I think we're going to pay by card today. Or you could have bought a ticket from the driver, but that option is no longer possible after COVID. They stopped that option, which is sensible. So we're going to go. It takes not very long, about 5-10 minutes. I won't film on the bus because I don't want to annoy other passengers, but we'll get there on the bus, which takes us right to the Parc Romanescu, and we've just missed a bus. I've just seen a bus going by, so maybe we'll have a 5-minute wait for a bus, but no problem. It costs €2.50 lei, which is about 40 pence or half a dollar, 50 cents. Okay, see you at the park. So we just arrived at the park after about a 10-minute drive on the bus, and here's the ticket which we got with the card, $2.50, so pretty cheap. And here's the park. Here's the main gate to Parc Romanescu, which was designed in the turn of the century, last century, 1902, and was designed. A French landscape designer was employed to create it. It was a flat piece of land, and he created the landscaping. It's based on 2 hills around a lake, and is rather beautiful, and is the third, as I said, the third biggest park in Europe. So we're going to have a look at it now. Here are some details of the park. 1903, and won the gold medal in the international exhibition in Paris for its planning, and was the initiative of the mayor of Craiova, Romanescu, after which it's named, and it has 90 hectares, so it's huge, and one of the biggest parks in Europe. So we're going to have a look round. We've got some signposts here showing how far Craiova is from other parts of Europe. My birthplace, London, 1,942 kilometers. Vienna, 715. So let's go and have a wander around. See what we see. A lot of people are surprised that I live in Romania, and they assume that my wife moved to England, but that's not the case. In fact, there was a recent survey done after Brexit, because they instituted a new system where you had to reapply for what they call a permis de ședere. Este așa?
Da, da, da.
A residency permit. And they thought there were 3,000 Brits, UK residents living in Romania. Turns out there weren't. It's 1,000, whereas there are 1.2 million Romanians living in the UK. We've got a rather nice folly up here, which you can see through the trees. We'll continue along a little lake with some, I think there were some ducks here or some swans. Lebedin. Yeah, swans. And on the right we have a little cabin, and in the summer you can hire a bike there to go around the park. A lot of people come here to do skateboarding, biking, to run, fitness. It's rather nice. But we're heading along. It's currently 6 degrees. The ice hasn't broken. I'll show you. The ice hasn't broken on the water yet. It's still pretty icy on the lake. In fact, it's frozen over, as you can see. Just the edges have melted. So we'll continue on, and we're going to have a look today at some rather unusual things. There's a zoo, there's a mini menagerie in the park. I'll tell you more about that when we get there. Then we're going to have a look at a cemetery. Romanians take death very seriously. They plan their funerals a long time in advance. You have to, because there's limited space in the city, a city like this. So you have to buy your plot, put up your tomb, and then wait for the inevitable. And the one we're going to look at is the Cimitir Unguren, da? Da. The Hungarian, no? Hungarian cemetery. There's a swan and some ducks. Nothing too exotic. There are more exotic animals when we reach the menagerie, which I'll talk about when we get there. This park contains a velodrome where they have exhibitions, festivals. We came to a food festival here. There are a couple of restaurants called Debarcadere și Ciobănașul. So Debarcadere, where you would set off onto the lake. You can hire a rowing boat to go rowing. And Ciobănașul, which is the folkloric restaurant where you get the best mici in the park. But we're going to go and have a look at the cemetery to try to find the two graves or two tombstones. One of Jean-Michel, one Mihail as he was in Romanian, but Jean-Michel, who is the founder of the Palace of Fine Arts here, which has become the museum containing the Brancuș sculptures I was talking about last time. And a more recent death, a sad loss to Oltenians, to Craiovans, Petre. Cum?
Mățu Stoian.
Cum?
Petrica Mățu Stoian.
Petrica Mățu Stoian, who was a folkloric singer and entertainer who died rather suddenly, I think of COVID, no?
After.
Yes. He was unwell and was buried here, and from what I've seen, he has a rather splendid tomb, but we'll see if we can find that, because I haven't been here since his death. Okay. Other things that happen here are concerts in the summer, and we've been to concerts at the Teatru de Vară, the Theatre of Summer, which we're about to go past. And we'll also look at the Castelul Fermecat, which a fost bar acolo, nu? There was a bar there, but now it's closed. It's closed up. There was a terasa or bar, but it's closed. And we'll look at the Podul Suspendat, the suspension bridge which crosses the water, and which was closed for quite a time because it was unsafe, deemed to be unsafe. It didn't have its guarantee after 100 years. So we'll have a look at that. So to my right is the Summer Theatre, which has a roof. They put a roof over to keep the spectators, to keep them dry. It doesn't rain an awful lot here, but when it does rain. And ahead of us, because the town hall, the Primaria, is currently closed, as I showed you. This is Casa Torira, the house of weddings. The house of weddings ahead of us. This park is a very popular place for people to come and have their wedding photos taken, to pose for videos and for photos. It's a very big business in Romania, and there it is in all its Christmas finery and decorations. This is a better view of the theatre, and in summer it's a rather terrific place to come and listen to concerts. Here's the other side of the wedding house. And now we're coming to a bandstand where there are military bands playing in the summer when the weather's nice. Just as we have in England, we have the same thing in some parts there. So we're in the menagerie, or the zoo, and this is where a poor bear called Bijou spent his days. You can imagine what his quality of life was. And most of the animals are in a pretty shabby state here. I'm a big proponent of zoos. I don't really believe in them, but we'll have a little look round. And then we'll go to the cemetery because that's the nearest place. So we're going to have a look at some animals. Este aici cimitir, nu? Mergem înainte la cimitir.
Here, the lion.
Unde? Oh, da. Da? I'm not surprised.
You see all the animals here. You see?
So a pretty dismal life here for the animals anyway. Okay, we're going to go to the cemetery now and try and find these graves.
I don't know the name.
So this is the tomb of Jean-Mihai, the family, with lions, tomb, and the statue. And he was the founder of the Parcul, Jean-Mihai. So, and next to him we have one of the most famous mayors of Craiova. As I told you, they take death very seriously. Ce?
Gogu Vorvoreanu.
Gogu, ce? Gogu, spune.
Gogu Vorvoreanu a fost
Gogu
primar.
Vorvoreanu, da, he was the mayor, da. Okay.
Cea mai frumoasă casă în Craiova.
He had the most beautiful house in Craiova.
Was built by him. Dar din păcate nu se poate vizita pentru că este sediul Mitropoliei Oltenia. It's not open for
Okay,
public.
now it's the house of the Metropolitan of Oltenia. Okay. Aici e Castelul Fermecat. Here is Fermecat Castle, which was originally built to hide a water tower because it was an unsightly feature. It used to be, there was a bar here, but that's been closed a long time, and as you can see, it's not really in a good way. It's falling to bits. Maybe they're going to reconstruct it. Looks like they've got some umbrella stands for the summer. And it overlooks the lake, which you can see down below us, and adjoins the bridge, the suspension bridge, which we're going to go and have a look at now. Haydi, hey. Bit cold today, and I don't think the boats are running because it is mid-January, so people just come to sit by the lake rather than going for a row, and most of the lake is frozen towards the edges anyway, so it's pretty icy. As I said, the mayor, Lia Olguța, she closed the bridge because they didn't have the sufficient insurance to guarantee it. It had a guarantee of 100 years, and after that they felt they couldn't risk it, so they closed it. But here's the suspension bridge which crosses the water. No. E mai bine din pe jos. So you get a pretty good view here of the bridge. Which is one of the tourist features. As you can see, lots of sculptures around the park. And now we're going to head back towards the entrance. So here you can see the lake, frozen lake, from the bridge in the distance. and a terrace, which is very popular even on this cold day in January.